Did that get your attention? Good. Because the game is afoot! Kinda literally. Before Mario was a household name, before Nintendo was a home console, Dave Schroeder, along with Dave Bertoni and Microfun, brought you Time Master Tim and Dino Eggs. Who's Time Master Tim? Well, he isn't John Parker Hammond, that's for sure, but he's just as crazy and was written a whole decade before Jurassic Park, 1983 to be exact. But let's talk about Time Master Tim and his adventures.
Exploring the prehistoric past via the time warp, you infect the dinosaurs with common measles, accidentally condemning them to extinction. Overcome with remorse, you devote yourself to rescuing the entire dinosaur population. For you can do it, you are Time Master Tim. Using the time warp, you can find and carry the dino eggs and dino babies safely into the 21st century. The dinosaurs live again in our future, thanks to you, Time Master Tim.
Well, Tim, I don't think that really sounds like a good idea if you ask me. So you're Tim. Your job is to collect eggs. You can only carry 3 at a time at first. But then if you get a power-up, or a power button, it looks kind of like a little peyote button, that'll let you carry a lot more. Your warp is a safety field, plus a way to get points for every egg you warp with. You must do this all while avoiding proto-snakes, proto-spiders, and anything else you might come in contact with. Leap through the platforms and collect and warp as you go. By the way, this is 1983 we're talking about. The levels are all randomly generated, which I feel is ahead of its time. A very good feature put in by Mr. Schroeder. It's very cool. Now, while doing all these leaps and jumps and egg collecting, it is very important to avoid Dino Mom, who sees you as not a savior, but a threat, and wants to stomp your guts out. Steer clear of her foot. She means business. Now, to ward her off, you must literally put 2 sticks together and make a fire. For Dino Mom wants no part of fire and smoke, and as long as there's a fire, she won't come along and squish you. However, the fire kills anything it comes in contact with. The burning animation is great. Burn, baby, burn! For every egg you miss at the end of the level, you get a point reduction, so don't miss any eggs. So off to the time warp and into the next level. Speaking of cool animation, watch how creepy the spiders crawling from their nests are. One creepy leg at a time. Makes my arachnophobia kick in. It's kinda gross, but awesome at the same time. Then we have the dino eggs, that if you take too long to collect, they will hatch on their own. Oh, and look at them go. Look at the little cheep. Aren't the little dinosaurs so cute? Cheep. To rescue them, simply jump over them, and that will create their own little force field. But uh-oh, look out, little dinosaur. These wretched proto-spiders will capture them and eat them if you don't save them quick enough. The poor baby dino is subjected to a death much like National Geographic. To rescue them, you gotta cut the spider's silk and watch the 8-legged freaks fall to their death. Another thing about the fire, everything must avoid it. I mean everything. The spiders, the snakes, you, the baby dinosaurs, can all meet their fate of a horrible burning death. Speaking of death, if you come in contact with spiders, snakes, flying bugs, the fire, or even a baby dino, you will start to de-evolve, and the counter will start to tick down. To avoid death, you must enter the time warp, and it will quickly bring your health back to full. Death is harsh. It'll always be due to de-evolution or because of the angry foot. Dino Mom, avoid her. Avoid her wrath at all costs, as much as possible to avoid dying in the prehistoric past. In Dino Eggs, there are 9 auto-generated levels. If you pass level 9, you'll just repeat it, and it'll get faster, and there'll be more eggs, and more creatures. Less wood. Each time. The key is to rack up a good score. That's what games were back in the day. Don't worry about an ending, but a high score and bragging rights. A lot of games didn't depend on an ending until the mid-80s. So it was just racking up a high score and saying, hey, I'm way better at this than you are. You have 3 lives to survive the prehistoric world of madness. And when you die, well, it's pretty gruesome. You de-evolve into a spider. And that just gives me the freaking creeps. No thanks. And that is Dino Eggs, a great hidden game from the past. I'm Time Master Tim, and I come from the past to bring you this lost classic. Try and find it any way you can, for it's definitely worth a play.